Gilded Age Episode 4 was absolutely heartbreaking. And now, it is Episode 5's turn to devastate us with new breakups, betrayals, and monetary troubles. So, let's talk about it. First off, the Russell house was in complete chaos in Episode 4 because Gladys was marrying the Duke of Buckingham. And while Bertha was practically glowing with pride, no one else seemed not even remotely thrilled. Gladys, especially, looked like she'd rather vanish than walk down that aisle. Her locking herself in her room before the ceremony was basically her attempting to survive all these. And while Bertha tried to brush it all off, it's clear everyone knew something was wrong. Even George finally stepped in, telling Gladys she doesn't have to go through with the wedding. That moment between them was heartbreaking, but it came far too late. She'd already given up, and this will be the beginning of her demise. So yes, Gladys gets married, but it's a joyless, painful event. She cries her way down the aisle and whispers the saddest "I do" in TV history. And just like that, we cut to her sailing off to England with a man she can barely stand. She's isolated, heartbroken, and now living in a foreign country. It's clear, this is the beginning of her downward spiral. Depression, alcohol, all of it is coming. And it doesn't help that her new sister-in-law, Sarah, is intense, to say the least. She won't leave the newlyweds alone, and honestly, there's something deeply off about her dynamic with the Duke. Their relationship is weirdly close in all the wrong ways. I'm calling it now. Sarah's going to make Gladys's life hell in Episode 5. But despite everything, the trailer for Episode 5 gives us a sliver of hope as well. At first, Gladys will be spiraling, turning to alcohol to cope. But she'll meet someone new, someone who gives her hope. This new relationship reminds her of who she is. Even though Bertha has disappointed her, she is still Bertha and George's one and only daughter. And she got all the ambitious genes from her parents. So she is strong, ambitious, and capable of rebuilding. It sets her on a new path, one where she rises above it all. Meanwhile, her brother Larry is trying to avoid falling into the same trap. He pushes back against Bertha, convincing her to let Marian be a bridesmaid, despite her saying Marian wasn't appropriate. Thankfully, Larry stands his ground. But this is just the beginning. Bertha is still determined to shut down Marian and Larry's relationship, and things are about to get messy. She will turn life into hell for the young couple in Episode 5, forcing Marian's aunts to intervene in support of their niece, which will lead to a whole new fight within the society's two powerful families. And then we met Monica O'Brien, Bertha's estranged sister. Let me just say, I love her. She's everything Bertha isn't. Down to earth, anti-status, totally unbothered by high society nonsense. And Bertha hates it. It's clear that Monica reminds her of her past, of the girl she used to be before wealth and power took over. Monica's presence is going to challenge Bertha hard in Episode 5, forcing her to confront who she's become. And let's be real, Monica might be the key to softening Bertha enough to accept Larry and Marian's relationship, or at least understand it. Over at the Astor house, things are falling apart fast. Mrs. Astor is reeling from the gossip columns reporting that her daughter Charlotte is having an affair, and that her husband fought a duel over it. Desperate to shut the story down, Mrs. Astor tells Charlotte she can't attend the wedding. But Charlotte isn't having it. She throws everything back in her mother's face, calling out the hypocrisy and the cruelty of their entire situation. In Episode 5, Mrs. Astor will be hit by yet another development, as Bertha will want to remove the ban of divorced women attending the balls, meaning that chaos will take over for sure. On a different note, let's talk about Jack. Our sweet inventor has struck gold. Literally. He sells his alarm clock design and makes $300,000. That's life-changing money. But instead of celebrating, he's overwhelmed. This house has been his only home, and now everything's changing. Mrs. Bauer tells him to keep it quiet for now, but based on the Episode 5 trailer, that secret won't last. His fellow staff members will think he stole from them, especially since they all invested in his idea. It'll get ugly fast, and Jack will realize that money, while freeing, can be extremely isolating too. Meanwhile, Ada is still deep in her grief over Luke Fort's death. She hires a medium, Madame Dashkova, to hold a seance in hopes of speaking to him again. Agnes, of course, thinks this is ridiculous and humiliating. She storms in and throws the medium out, calling the whole thing nonsense. But I couldn't help feeling for Ada. She's desperate for connection, and whether the seance was real or not, It gave her something to hold on to. Agnes is still Agnes, which can be unbearable at times, but even she shows a tiny bit of softness when Marian asks about her future with Larry. Agnes says she approves of Larry as long as he isn't poor. That's about as close to a blessing as Marian will ever get. And honestly, as I mentioned above, compared to Bertha, even Agnes looks like an angel. But let me know what you think of her. For more weekly updates on the Gilded Age Season 3, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.